Hello. Alright. Give me a sec while I get these. Of course. It's always Twitter. Give me a sec while I get these last things. Oh, it's not. It's left. Always Twitter. It is Twitter. Darn it. It's always Twitter. No. What is it? What is it? Well, Streamlight is live again, so yay. Possibly be. What is testing? Okay. How did Wavelength turn itself back on? That was the problem. Wavelength turned itself back on again, and they still haven't fixed that problem. Where it's just like, no, I don't know what's going on, but I guess I'm just going to play the audio back all the time, no matter what, even when the settings turned off. Has been a problem for closing in on a year now. And that's really annoying since it is this microphone's operating software. I have to use this microphone without it in order to not have the problem, meaning I lose the stuff for it. All the nice noise stuff. Alright. Alright. However, I believe that is everything. As much as it's going to be. So yeah. On one hand, it's annoying that this happened, but on the other hand, of course it's not showing. On the other hand, this is not a scheduled stream. I just decided to do this, so... I guess we're just gonna have to live with it. If it can break, it will break. So yeah, I just got this game, and we're going to be playing it. I am be familiar with the tabletop that this is based on, because this is actually based on a tabletop pen and paper game, like D&D style. So I've always wanted to actually like play the tabletop instead of just nerd about it, but that's never happened. So yeah, this is Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. And this is said to be like a cross between Baldur's Gate 3 and Fallout New Vegas in terms of how it's styled and presented. It is a top-down. Something to note is that it did not have the Baldur's Gate 3 budget. So we're not going in expecting this to be another Baldur's Gate 3, but at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a bad game, just setting expectations reasonably. Music is a touch loud? Okay, turn it down. Alright, music has been turned down. But yeah, it's just setting expectations. It doesn't need to be as good as Baldur's Gate 3 to be a good game. So, that said, I don't know that I have many other intros or rambles to do to get us started. This game will probably demand enough attention. We won't get many rambles tonight besides stuff about the game itself. I do have some Spelljammer related D&D things that are going in the splat if this works, if we end up with time, but I get a sense we probably won't with this game. Also, I am not caffeinated and won't be tonight because I want to sleep. So this could, especially with the late start, this may be a shorter stream. We'll have to see how things go. Like Baldur's Gate 3, but lower budget. Can we still seduce all the followers that suddenly decide they hate sharing? I mean, to be fair, rogue traders do that kind of stuff. So, you know. We will see. Alright, and this is no expansions, no updates, no extras. This is just the base game. And I don't have the DLC, so we have to play the Void Shadows. I mean the main story, not the Void Shadows. We're gonna play on normal difficulty. Because look at all those modifiers, and I don't know what any of them do. Non-caffeinated drink that will need refills regularly. And we're gonna do a custom character. But these are the defaults. We have Akata, Darius, Bahardor. Okay, and so there are a ton of portraits to pick from. I did a little bit of YouTube watching to get a few ideas. True, Baldur's Gate 3's claim to fame was the bear. I still have issues with that particular decision of direction. Also, are we playing male or female, guys? What do we think, chat? You know that almost everyone has some kind of very nasty augmentations? It's mostly because, well, it's 40k and that tends to happen. First character option. Note that this and the character are going to be different, but wait, who are you considering the pirate gal? Is that her or... okay, it's 5 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So first number's across, second number's down. Lower row, big Oculus. Oh, 4-4. Ah. Okay, we have a vote for 4-4. We have a second for 4-4? Okay. Wow, those are crazy eyes. Oh. Appearance. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Excuse you. Appearance. So we can do more customizations here. So it starts on 9. Nine still has crazy eyes. I don't think we're going to do with 9. Default might not be bad, actually. We have to be human, don't we? I mean, not too many options, but Space Dwarves are a thing. Were they when this game came out, though? Because they got taken away at one point. Now, it is a ponytail to start, but what are our other options? Also, this is a very large character creator. I think you actually need mods in Baldur's Gate 3 to get this many options so far. That's the one thing with the Baldur's Gate 3's character creator is, depending on the race you pick, it does feel a little limited. Well, let's do something other than a ponytail. This is cute. Goodbye the fake. Well, no, it's... Here's the thing. They got rid of the squats and then they recently brought them back. It's hard to see the variation, and I can't tell if that's the style or the fact that we're in this kind of antiquated looking interface. I'm gonna change things up. We're being a redhead. Never stop selling the figures because Games Workshop, so of course they sold you things you could spare. Nope, we are doing it in Aquila. I don't need to see any of the others. Now, I'm not a... Hold on. Okay. Where's that scar coming from? Do we just have that scar? Oh, that scar's up here. Okay. There are 5 tattoos that we can put on. A lot of these are kind of generic. Everyone has the scar. Well, every game has that scar. Ooh, claws. I'm gonna do the claws that way. Okay, first claw. You know, I mean tattoo. Let's look at the other tattoos. What do we have? Can't see that. Oh, well, yeah, dark eyes, obviously. I'm me. Third tattoo. That's just a mole. These are just moles. A little cybernetics in the eye. Ooh, there's a second one. We're gonna do cybernetics in both the eyes. Alright, what's our last tattoo gonna be? With hair you can't see. Stop it! Hair you can't see these, so they're going to have to be arm. Oh well, that just looks heretical. Same thing for the other arm. Yeah, this... I'm not a fan of this. Stop with the circle with the spikes. That's heresy things. It's not bad. We already have the back tattoo. We don't need another one. Ooh. More. This one comes up a lot. More heresy. Tattooed chains. Different tattooed chains. We're gonna go with this one. Augmentations! Okay, so we have this one. Ironclad nose. Ooh. But that covers all, that then covers the stuff we just put on. Ooh. I kind of like the bandage, but it's a gold augmentation thing. Can't see that. We can't see these. Oh, well, you can kind of see that-ish. You can't see these head ones. Okay. Gold forehead. I like that, but again, it goes over the cheek circuits. Big nose band-aid. We get at least 2 of these. We get 2 of these. Big nose band-aid, small nose band-aid. I'm calling them band-aids. They're definitely not band-aids. I kind of like that. It's symmetrical, but lots of augmentations and doesn't hide the scar or circuits. This we could do with more than 2 of. I think I would like having more than 2 of these.
Watch and learn. Fire the lance batteries. Ha! Another clean strike.
Let the macro cannons sing their deadly litany. Let our weapons be true and our resolve unbreakable. The higher will has guided us to triumph. Purge this heresy from existence.
I love how the religious, pious people in the Imperium always sound like they're on the edge of their sanity.
I always keep my options open.
I think I like that.
I always get the job done. This could be an opportunity. Time to reap the spoils of the battle.
All hands, prepare for acceleration.
I have a nose for profit and a taste for adventure.
We're probably going pragmatic. But here's the thing. You're saying she's mad. There is a mad option.
Blood and mayhem shall be our anthem. Empyrean, take this sacrifice. Send their souls to the void. Rend the flesh, shatter the spirit. Through chaos I stride. Ruinous favor prevails. A new note in discordant melody. Behold the wrath of madness! Madness conquers the void. Applaud my brilliance. The battleground beckons. Step by step I lead. Let the bodies pile! Gaze upon the powers of the veil.
I like how the mad one's the only one that's happy to be here. Why don't we have a daring female?
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Why is it daring male and no voice? Is there no daring female?
My supremacy is proven once again. Looks like we have a problem on our hands.
Boo. Okay, fix your game.
A new note in discordant melody.
I think pragmatic, but like I said, I'm amused that the mad female is the only one that sounds like she's happy to be here.
Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
Alright, homeworld, Deathworld. On Deathworlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. Whilst exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Deathworlds possess valuable resources, require an outpost or other human presence upon the world's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. Deathworld, welcome to Australia. It has been pretty much proven at this point that Australia is Earth's own little private Deathworld. Survival instinct. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Deathworld character drop below 30%, they gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds, which, if this uses the same setup as, like, every other 40k setting, wounds is just HP. Deathworld characters also gain a 20% bonus to dodge and armor when they have at least one temporary wound from any source. Bonuses to strength, toughness, and agility. Take hits to intelligence and fellowship, which I'm pretty sure fellowship represents the character's ability to interact. Yeah, this is just charisma. Following features will be available after Origin Advancement, so you don't start with these, but you get them. Brutal Hunter, 50% crit, against targets that are bleeding or have less than half their HP. Trusty weapons, plus 10% critical hit for axes, hammers, and lasguns. Lifetime of scars, you suffer a toughness bonus. Less damage from... I'm not sure how this is worded. I think it's saying that you take less damage from fire, toxic damage, and bleeding, but it's worded weird. Wounded Beast. We're going to be here for a while. Every injury increases the Death World character's agility and willpower by 5. Every trauma counts as 3 injuries. Tenacity. Once per combat, when a Death World character suffers the stun, blinded, or immobilized effect, this effect is ignored, and they instead gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary hit points. You have 5 toughs, you take 5 less on those damage. Got ya. Right, so this is all about being the group's tank. I don't think I want to be the group's tank, so not Death World. Voidborn! Voidborn are humans birthed in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. For the record, they refer to space as void, so a void vessel is just a spaceship. Those who have lived their lives on void ships have become inured to some extent to the reality-altering process of warp travel and to living in low or zero gravity environments. In many cases, their features are drawn and their skin pallid. They may even have minor deformities or strangeness to their speech, gait, or general appearance, sets them apart from others. Given we are likely to spend a lot of time on the ship, this doesn't seem like a bad idea. Fortune. A Voidborn character can reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry characteristic, or skill test with a 20% chance of success. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Additionally, any enemy dodge or parry against a Voidborn character has a 20% chance to fail after a successful roll. I really like that. The 40k, never tank unless you are literally a tank. We've had a weirder cyber fair. Void Vessel, welcome to SS Cambria heading to Australia. Still that. Just on Fortune alone, I think I'm going to take Voidborn. Because I really like that to begin with. Just that, getting extra chances to try things. You get bonuses to willpower and intelligence, but you take a hit to your physical strength. Yeah, Fortune seems amazing. An extra 20% chance to do something is great. We're gonna look at the others, but I think we have our class homeworld already. Bloody Mess. Anytime a Voidborn character scores a critical hit, 10% chance to double the damage. I like that. Contagious Luck. Using a non-damaging ability on an ally. Grants that ally the ability to re-roll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill test with a 20% chance of success for 1 round. So this is just an amazing support class. This chance cannot be greater than... using a non-damaging ability on an enemy grants them a 20% chance to fail a successful dodge or parry test against any character for 1 round. Holy crap! So that's just... I love the manipulate luck options in games. Because it's like making fate work for you. So... they're doing a real good job of selling this right now. Jinx. While Voidborn character has more than half their HP, all chances of all creatures, including enemies in a 3-cell radius, increase by 10%. Ooh, that could be interesting. So you want to stay at range from enemies and near your friends. When a Voidborn character has less than half their HP, all chances in all creatures, including enemies, is okay, so if you want to stay away from enemies and with your friends when you have high HP. When you have low HP, you want to run at the enemy and force them to have your bad luck. fascinating. Just a flesh wound. A Voidborn character has 20% chance to survive after suffering lethal damage. Survive with one... Oh, come on. That's just... Oh, yeah, they've already sold me on this. This is just icing on the cake. Be smart. Anytime an ability or talent uses the fellowship bonus, a Voidborn character can instead use the intelligence bonus if it is higher. Additionally, Voidborn characters can always upgrade intelligence even if their archetype does not allow it. So, you'll want to... Okay. So, if you get the Be Smart ability, or if you plan to get the Be Smart ability, since it says will be available after Origin Advancement, which I assume is level up, you want to focus on intelligence instead of fellowship. The ability to sacrifice one stat and not have it hurt you is kind of neat. But just on these luck powers alone, holy crap. Hive World. Hive World's population is so dense that great swaths of the surface of the world are frequently covered in gargantuan cities bejeweled with towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive Worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies in vast they're called manufactorums, mine valuable minerals, and refine fuel for the Imperial Navy. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from the massive populations as well. Features, strength, and numbers. Several characters gain +1. Oh my gosh. They're making us do algebra? Really? However, characters gain +1+, I assume that's fellowship. That is fellowship. 1 plus fellowship divided by 2, resolve, if there are 3 or more creatures, allies, or enemies in a 3-cell radius. Yet they suffer a -2 penalty to resolve with nobody near them. No. Bonus of fellowship, agility, willpower. I'm not going to read anymore. We're not doing Hive World. I don't like this because it forces you to stay in a blob. That's how you get grenaded. I don't need to read anymore. That on its own is bad. At least for how I like to do things. Forge World. Forge Worlds are the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus, entire planets ceded to the demands of vast macro industries. Each is a manufacturing supercomplex of unimaginable capacity and power. Over the millennia, different Forge Worlds have become especially renowned for their philosophies or ways of war. These are often colored by the technologies they specialize in manufacturing. The bulk of a Forge World's population is utilized as a labor force, whilst the fortunate few may be inducted into the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. Forge World, welcome to most honorable Japan. Forged for a purpose. Oh my gosh, not more math. Forge World characters choose one augmentation system from the following list. Click to expand. Subskin armor grants +5+2 times toughness bonus % armor. Locomotion system grants plus agility bonus divided by 2 magic. No, it got it. Yeah, movement points. Okay. Okay, so we use a movement point system. Plus 2 times agility bonus % dodge. Analytics system grants +10+ intelligent bonus % critical hit chance. Again, the luck one really sold me. Intelligence, toughness, you lose fellowship. Go figure, the Adeptus Mechanicus doesn't like anybody. Pinnacle of weaponry. Plasma melter. I'm not worried too much about these. Like I said, I think we're settled. I'm mostly just reading for lore. Imperial World. An Imperial World is one of the million planets united by the belief in the immortal God Emperor. Hailing from hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations, inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the Master of Humanity, and the Imperial Creed is espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are nevertheless part of the Imperium. Humanity's finest. Imperial characters can select any characteristics except for weapon skill or ballistic skill and add a +10 bonus. Okay, so this is just the custom origin / variant human being. Forge world, entire planets with an envy of Tonic Stark with a box of scraps of cave. Yep. Okay, so these are just going to be generic ability. Yeah, I don't need to read more of these. Fortress world. Fortress worlds are planets where the entire populace is immersed in warfare. They constantly train for the day that they may be called upon to defend the Imperium, a charge they solemnly uphold. Fortress worlds are established as bulwarks against the enemy. Every citizen is a soldier, trained to fight from the moment they can handle a weapon. Features: never stop shooting. Each time a Fortress world character kills an enemy, they gain +10 stacks of never stop shooting. At the start of their turn, there is a stacks never stop shooting % chance that the first attack of this round will cost 0 AP and will not count towards the attack limit per turn. If this effect triggers, all stacks are lost. Gain perception and willpower, lose fellowship. Voidborn, please. Origin. I'm sorry, did that say sanctioned psyker? This is an origin? Not a class? First of all, welcome to Switzer Bridges rigged to blow if you step on it. Yeah, it is the planet. Fortress World, so I heard you like Starship Trooper. That also true. Why isn't this a class? Holy crap. Psychers are feared and distrusted, but nonetheless valuable assets to the... These guys are basically sorcerers. This is your wizard of the 40k universe. Because they have magic in the form of psychic powers. The role of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica is to recruit, identify, and classify those found to possess psychic abilities. The most powerful who somehow survive the rigorous sanctioning rituals are selected to serve on the battlefield. The mind of a sanctioned psyker is steeled against the manifold dangers risked by wielders of warp powers. You are one of those found worthy to serve humanity and miraculously survive the perils of the warp. Note, damaging psyker powers count as weapon attacks, counting towards the normal attack limit per turn and gaining all the benefits of abilities and talents, increasing the damage of attacks. For example, a soldier using the run and gun ability will be able to use damaging psyker powers twice per turn, and an analyzed enemy's ability affects the damage of the damaging psyker's powers. Bonuses: toughness, willpower, lore, carouse, willpower, and lore. And you just get the ability to do all kinds of psychic things. Why is this an origin, not a class? Holy crap. I mean, unless these other ones give you all this kind of stuff too, there's no reason to pick something other than Psyker. Okay, that coat does look pretty good though. Noble, the high nobility of the Imperium, are an enormously privileged and powerful elite, a breed apart from the common masses they rule. You grew into adulthood upon a pedestal of affluence and grandeur that towered high above the common masses. You expected their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil, surrendered to your family in solemn fealty. Features: you serve me. Noble assigns one ally who will become their servant until the end of combat. Anytime the noble's abilities affect the servant gains +5 to all characteristics until the start of noble's turn. Anytime servant attacks target with an... more math. Yeah, I think we're playing Psyker. Yeah, this is a fraction of the abilities that Psyker gives you. Navy officer. Imperial Navy is responsible for fleets of void ships that assert the dominance of the Imperium amid the stars, and fulfill other duties connected to the warp and warp travel. You used to be a Navy officer and a commander of a void ship, hardened in numerous battles and famous for resounding victories. Brace for impact for 1 round, allies gain +2 deflection. Each archetype cannot be forcefully moved or over-penetrated. Okay. Ministorum Priest. The ecclesiarchy, known formally as the Adeptus Ministorum, is a vast institution that oversees the galaxy-spanning religion of the Imperium. The ecclesiarchy's complex hierarchies of cardinals, missionaries, preachers, and zealous laity ensure that the prescribed prayers and invocations are made, all while instructing the masses to guard against heresy and deviancy. You used to be one of these fiery and charismatic individuals concerned with keeping a close watch on your congregation. We cannot be a sister of battle, so I will not be playing any of this. Crime Lord. I also say his origins are massively blinged for war. I mean, it is Warhammer 40k. Crime Lord also has a nice coat. The Imperium survives and prospers in no small part due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind will such as yours could not be so easily constrained. Dark paths of smugglers and renegades that wind beneath the facade of the Imperium society offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law. You used to be one of these dangerous yet resourceful individuals. Commissar! Commissars of the Officio Perfectus are ruthless officers charged with maintaining the morale, discipline, and fighting spirit of their Astra Militarum regiment. You used to be one of these faithful servants of the God Emperor, a living symbol of the Imperium authority, regarded with a mix of fear and awe by their subordinates. Unfortunately, commissars are lawful stupid, so we will not be doing that. Astra Militarum Commander! Very tin pot. The Astra Militarum, commonly known as the Imperial Guard, also known as the Militant Militia, is the primary fighting force of the Imperium and the first line of defense from the myriad threats that endanger the existence of humanity in the 41st millennium. You have served as one of the commanders of the Astra Militarum Regiment, commanding thousands and winning battles in the name of the God Emperor. Wow, we are doing Sanctioned Psyker, because holy crap, I want my magic powers. Commissars, the original, drive me closer, I want to hit them with my sword. They actually are, they really are. That is the origin of that phrase for those unaware. Holy crap. Yeah, I will take my psychic powers, please. And now we get to pick what kind of psycho we want to be. Okay, Biomancer. Biomancer specializes in manipulating biological energy and processes with the power of their minds. They are masters of the flesh, learning to shape and influence their own physical forms according to the will, as well as those of physical enemies. They're of the allies and enemies. There is a 0% chance this lets you mutate, because then I'd get shot immediately, because the Imperium doesn't do that. Biomancy, Iron Arm, target gains, yada yada. Enfeeble. Invigorate. Regenerate. Ooh. That's good, though. Target immediate gains an extra turn. And then gets hurt. Okay, cool. Warp speed. These just come with so many other things. No, you are not bleeding to death. He's bleeding to death for you. Very true. Sanctioned Psyker Diviner. Diviners seek to discern the hidden past of the galaxy and know the course of events yet to come. These abilities allow diviners to look into the twisting strands of the immaterium to search for the answers. They seek and sometimes even influence the outcome of fate itself. Well, I mean, we're already going down the super lucky route. That increases target's dodge and parry. Foreboding. Gain dodge. Ally effect, dodge and parries. Ally has a weapon capable of reaching attacker, has attack. Immediately counterattacks. Recognition. Prescience. Prophetic intervention. Restores allies' wounds after they fall in battle. Pyromancer! Gee, I wonder what this one does. Pyromancer is the master of the flame, a psyker who is able to create searing infernos out of thin air. Pyromancy is one of the most spectacular and destructive forms of psychic ability, and those who face a pyromancer in combat are oft reduced to naught but a pile of charred bones. Knight. right? Of course. Following will be available. Firestorm, Orchestrate Flames, Inflame, Molten Beam, and Incinerate. Sanction Psyker Sanctic. Psychers of the Sanctic discipline master their connection to the Golden Throne to support their allies with holy might and stave off demons and heresy. Ooh. Ooh. Word of the Empire. All allies gain resolve end of combat. Purge Soul deals damage. Light of the Empire. Or Emperor. Heal. Shield of the Emperor. Hammer of the Emperor. There's going to be a lot of the Emperor. I will be your paladin for this evening. Sword of Faith. Telepath. Telepaths use psychic powers to conjecture with their own minds to delude, control, destroy the minds of others. Telepathy. Psychic Shriek. Willpower. Aye, not now. Sorry, I'm just going blind. I know, you didn't say anything rude. Dominate! Psychic Assault. Mind Bond. Sensory Deprivation. Oh boy. Mind Rupture. Ooh! Make a target attack their allies. I like that. We're gonna go with a telepath. Triumph, apex of brilliance upon solving the mystery of a powerful, psychically active Xeno artifact. You manage to destroy the creation of countless enemies of humanity. Gives you +5 to lore Xenos. Illustrious Glory, you single-handedly saved a pilgrim ship by stopping a warp breach while traveling through the Immaterium. So you +5 to Fellowship. Or Persuasion. The power of your sorcery crushed a demon of the archenemy and drove it back into the warp. +5 to Coercion. Character's ability to manipulate others through intimidation. Okay. Whoa, those are all good. I like the idea of having killed a demon in my past. That'll get me some good points with people. Nobody likes the demons. Oh, with very good reason. So we got persuasion, intimidation, and knowing about aliens. I think I'm gonna go with killing a demon in my past. Darkest Hour, Grim Portents, you were accused of being possessed by a warp entity and forced into exile, leaving your soul forever scarred. -5 to Logic. Brand of Shame, your sorcery caused a warp manifestation aboard a void ship, claiming thousands of lives. Oof! -5 to Awareness, also probably a horrific reputation. Shadow of Torment, an error during the sanctity process brought you many hours of agony, which nearly cost your life. You know less about the warp. That honestly seems like the best one that we can do under these circumstances. Holy crap. You can only choose one of the first tier archetypes at the moment. Archetypes are the development paths that your characters follow. Each archetype encapsulates a unique set of skills and expertise that represents a specific combat specialization, from the frontline warrior to the indispensable leader, referring to command from the rear. Choose who you want to be in the grim, dark future of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Yeah, I like that they give you a disadvantage. Just for the lore and the neatness that happens from it. Okay, level 1, level 16, level 36. Okay, warrior. Oh, I do not have time to check all this. Warriors are combatants boasting exceptional melee prowess, capable of dealing high damage in close quarters combat, and withstanding heavy amounts of damage. They also excel at drawing enemies' attention. Okay, I'm not being a warrior. No. Officers use their willpower. Well, I need a lot of willpower and fellowship anyway. Well, not fellowship, but willpower to improve the combat abilities of allies, turning them into even greater threats on the battlefield. Ooh, extra turns. I like extra turns. Extra turns are good. I'm a fan of extra turns. Single target buffs, screen allies, and momentum. Or he took Death World, right? Operative. An operative uses intelligence. I also need that. And perception to find an exploit weakness in the enemy's defenses. None can withstand an attack from an operative. Core focus. Precise single attacks, defense penetration, air debuffs, consistent firing position. Soldier. Soldier is a master of all ranged weapons, quickly able to assume an advantageous position from where they stand ready to rain fire on the enemy. While well trained in a highly diverse range of arms, a soldier is particularly proficient at blasting their targets with burst fire and aerial weapons. Core focus, movement and ranged attacks, cover and dodge burst fire area attacks. What is run and gun? Soldier gains. Okay, their next attack costs minus. Their next attack costs minus 1 AP less, and does not count towards the attack limit per turn. Till the end of the next turn, soldier. Okay, I'll be your rogue. Okay, so I like these other three. Unfortunately, this does not seem to use. Well, it doesn't even say. Oh, okay, it does down here. Okay, ballistic skill, agility, awareness, and demolition. None of which I use as a psyker. But I like... I think we're going to go with officer because I like extra turns. Extra turns are good. I'm a fan of extra turns. Available point. Okay. Willpower I need for officer, right? Yes. Okay, willpower reflects the character's ability to withstand the horrors of the terrors of space and dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in the Coronos expanse. High willpower allows characters to exert control over a crowd or interrogate a heretic. Also increase the effects of resisting... Alright, well, we are just going to... Okay, so you do these in groups of 5, so we technically only have 6 things to put in. And we want our willpower as high as possible. Because, no. We say no to demons here. Which gives us 4 more points to put into however many places. We're doing a lot of intelligence things because measure the character's acumen, reason, and knowledge. For each point of intelligence bonus, character deals plus 5% more damage with non-burst ranged area attacks. Also affects the oh, I thought sanctioned. Okay, all the Psyker stuff is just willpower. Never mind. I am wrong. Intelligence is just regular old intelligence for me. Okay, perception describes how well the character perceives the surrounding. Characters have perception could pick out straight. Okay. We may put a ton into perception. Fellowship represents the character's ability to interact with other creatures to deceive. Oh, that's right. We can focus on intelligence and not worry about fellowship, can't we? High fellowship will help the character find a way to approach. Anytime we would make a fellowship, we can use intelligence with Voidborn if we take that ability. So it might be worth it to bump into intelligence and not worry about fellowship. Perception is really tempting, especially in this universe. Holy crap. Agility measures a character's quickness, reflexes, poise. Manipulate delicate explosives. Character's initiative, dodge. Character's melee weapon, and dodge. Okay. Toughness is just... Okay, that's a given. Strength. Ballistic skill is how well you shoot. And weapon skills, melee attacks. I kind of want to just max out perception and intelligence along with it. You know, do this. Because like I said, if we take that one ability, we don't need to worry about fellowship. Our intelligence will handle it. And you want to know what's going on. Perception seems really important. And willpower has to get all the bonuses because we are a freaking psyker. So what do we think? Anyone have any other input before we lock this in and definitely make a mistake? Check. Oh, seems reasonable to not invite demons to tea. Okay. I'm gonna play a smart and perceptive character that this is 40k, everything a mistake in this game, fair. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. I feel like there was supposed to be other options here. I am actually not a big fan of this version of the 40k ship design because this ramming prow is... I don't like the pointy ramming prows. Sword-class frigate is a classic void ship design proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Estimated dimensions: 1.6 kilometers in length, 0.3 kilometers beam at the fins approximately. Estimated tonnage: 6 megatons approximately. Estimated number of souls: 26,000 approximately. The Von Valancius flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valancius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. A flagship size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing enemy, smaller, faster raiders, and for hunting the countless pirates, Xenos, and heretics in the Coronis Expanse. Numerous Von Valancia's rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and the few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Valancia's dynasty. if you've been at this for as long as you have, why the heck don't you have something bigger? Admittedly, these are massive, but in 40k scale, these are tiny, and you can get like grand cruisers as a rogue trader. Patient Fortune, Oculus Ignis, Arcanum Redemptions, Atonement of the Abyss, Righteous Absolution, Calamity's Promise, Daring Destiny, Fatum Adakium, Fear of the Faithless, Trailblazer, Light in the Void. Why don't you have a bigger ship if you've been at this while? Slight misstep in investments. You had a bigger ship, but you lost it gambling with the Eldar. Invictus Erebus. Or Invictum. Gloriam Libertatum. Sure. Oh my gosh, Hawk 2 coin. Don't get me started on that. Okay. Lavinia. Amabel. Caroline. Isla. Beatrice. Isla again. Marinia. Amabel. Viola. Zabalia. Lavinia. Gamma. Liliana. Pandora. Oh my gosh. Sure. Okay. Operatives are indispensable for supporting a party and dramatically reducing enemy defenses. However, each operative performs in their own unique way. Oh.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Truly an awe-inspiring sight. Frankly, such excess can be tiring at times. All this ostentatious luxury, this laughable pretense, is enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate. Have we met yet? Well, we are in an uber-religious society, so I think the best way to not get killed is truly an awe-inspiring sight.
That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with the chance to give their very life for the master of humanity.
And yes, we do worship a God Emperor. For those of you familiar with Dune, yes, Warhammer 40k, made by Games Workshop, did steal that from Dune. And I find that very ironic, given that they are a company that will sue you for stealing anything from them.
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Yes, Pandora. My name is Pandora, and as to avoid any misunderstanding, I am a sanctioned psyker. I have no intention of introducing myself. I am a sanctioned psyker.
I am aware of that fact. It would have been unacceptable negligence to have overlooked such a detail when compiling your profile. Fate bestowed upon you powers of witchcraft, and a duty to use them for the good of the Imperium. Yours is truly an unenviable lot.
Also, here's the thing. People refer to, the Imperium and the Emperor of Mankind, and as the Empire, and so on and so forth. The actual translation for the Imperium of Mankind is the authority of mankind.
I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
Yes, very, Fallout. Lord Captain, strange lady, strange title. Why am I aboard this vessel? A curious title. Tell me about, say, I assume, I guess we could probably go down the list. It seems like a lot of lore things.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis, at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service. And therefore, it is sacrosanct.
Yeah, if the God Emperor does anything, it is now a religious staple.
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium, but from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible.
It is not a small thing to take a psyker and say, you work for me now. I have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencias. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
The same one of the rogue trader's heirs, so there's another candidate.
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Rogue Trader von Valencius desires to personally meet with you.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Some objects gain interactive lesson. Tab to highlight. Okay. Massive conference table obviously crafted from real wood, a resource of incredible value aboard a void ship. Show data on vid screen. Sacred mechanism has been interfered with without due reverence. The duration of the data process cycle has tripled. Incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the cogitators. You can make out references to unfamiliar systems and words and worlds among the numbers and logisticar symbols. I have tripled it again. Okay, it says the same thing. Well, yeah, the worst thing you can do around the Mechanicus is push buttons without their permission. So we do that all the time. Candlelit altar with a copy of the 2348th volume of the Lex Imperialis, Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperium.
One of the Von Valencius trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
That's not good.
To arms!
They're not very advanced, but they are very tough buggers. To survive the grim darkness of the far future, we'll have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hinted tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Click on the button at the top of the screen to start the battle. All battles of the game are turn-based to take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select the cell from the highlighted area and double-click left mouse button to move the character. Movement points determine how far a character can move on their turn. 1 MP corresponds. Move diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell costs 2 MP. At the end of each turn, movement points are restored to their maximum value. Note that once the character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Turn-based combat system with no trading in it. This is making sense for 40k now. Oh, there will be trading. There will definitely be trading. I have no idea what his kind of walking range is. Do I just stay here?
Let's make some opportunities.
To make attacks and use abilities in combat, character must spend action points or AP. Every attack, single shot icon. failure shots been. Certain abilities of the game are considered attack actions, can only be used once per turn, unless affected. Performs the attack action, they will not be able to attack again, will lose their remaining movement points. Oh, okay, so you have to do all your movement before you attack. So you can't attack, can't move, attack, then move. Or attack and then move, okay. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I have a pistol shot. I have a reload. Interesting. I have my Psychic Shriek. Voice of command officer forces an ally to fully push themselves, increasing their characteristics by plus 13 for 1 round. Additionally, all the officer's abilities can be applied to the voice of command from any distance. Character who becomes a target of voice of command cannot be targeted by this ability again for 2 rounds. Well, I have 4 points, so... Right, these are attacks, so I can only use one of these two. 7 to 11... 1 to 9. So I'm going to use my voice of command on you. And then I'm going to shoot it.
Who, if not me?
Right, to end your turn, press space or click the end turn button. How could you miss him? He was 4 feet in front of you! Okay, so I can use abilities, just not attacks.
I am ready for whatever comes.
I can also miss. Thank you for hitting. I'm gonna end up kiting this guy around, aren't I? Could you please shoot him? You know what? If you're not gonna shoot him, I'm not giving you my bonus.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature.
So when I did this, 4 to 7, 2 to 10. Okay, never mind. It would have been better to be. We're gonna use this once.
On it. Another enemy down.
I'll take the kill.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Yeah, now security shows up. Can I loot? I can open the map using M to orient yourself. Wait, where? Can I loot?
I know how to take risks.
I like these in Dawn of War.
I always keep my options open.
I'm not getting loot, I take it. Ooh. Impressive.
Let us not dawdle.
The ship's elevators. Hoy. Nope, I can't get over there, okay?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Just run through the conversation.
Simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Let's just science here, speak with Lord Captain. Survey the room. First impression of Edelthrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. Nervously twitching fingers, face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. Stark contrast to Edelthrad, Theodora von Valentius features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the differences in stats between her and Edelthrad. Next to two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Okay, so we have two tests that were succeeded. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is is indeed the case, and if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship. Lore warp. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Ion 6 is witchcraft or not. Might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. I believe I could use my personal abilities to ascertain whether there was sorcery on Ion 6, but it would require going down the surface of person. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interest first. No matter what means I would have to use, the riches of Ion 6 would be mine. Ion 6 must be purged for the good of the Imperium. I shall exterminate their heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. I do not know. Since we succeeded tests, we're going to use 1 or 2. What do we think, chat? 1 or 2? I'm going to get a refill of my drink while I wait for you to answer. I return. Has anyone decided on anything? Chat? Okay, Rippy is suggesting the first, okay?
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
Give a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Ethelred. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable, Ethelred. You will kindly alter the manner in which you address me, else you will live to regret the consequences. Shut your mouth, Ethelred, before I decide to shut it for you. I'm going to go with number 1 here, because I feel like leaning on the fact that he couldn't answer is the best way to get out of this.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officers' deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
Was that not you who sent for me? There are questions I wish to have answers. I do not know just yet. I hope you will clarify that. I know she summoned us, but trying to think how 40k people work. Edel, are you flirting in the middle of this mess? I'm gonna go with number 2. If I'm a candidate for Rogue Trader, I gotta be arrogant.
You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first.
Ah, that was the right answer.
My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
And bow death and make a ton of money, many tons. We don't talk about it. Yeah, if this is anything like the tabletop game, money will not be measured in coins. It will be measured in volume. Ready to take on the sacred purpose. All too sad for me. One of us mean there are other heirs. Ready to take on the sacred purpose.
Oh, yes. You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader. Bloodright alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Still get to do one of, and then... Did I hear correctly? The Master of Whispers is relayed to you. Before we go, something I want to comment on here is very interesting that while this isn't the standard in the Imperium, I do like that rogue traders and some of these like actually important roles do require some level of proof of capability before they before you actually get a position of leadership. Yeah, the family blood gets you in line, but proving you're something other than just a son or daughter is what actually gets you there. We're asking about the Master of Whispers.
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Tension between these two, starting to have questions. One of, does this mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
If you're satisfied with Edelthrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse.
Psychers are super important, so yes.
It says in your profile that you bear the brand of sorcery, albeit sanctioned sorcery that is permitted in the service of the Imperium. I am accustomed to the presence of psychers at my side. More than that, I value their unique abilities highly. Perhaps that is why I am so intrigued by Edelthrad's candidacy. A rogue trader psyker could achieve great things indeed. However, psychers are fragile creatures, and as such I would rather have a replacement standing ready in the event that something happens to Edelthrad. Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the von Valancius line.
Hey, get taken as a free trader is better than getting eaten by the throne. It is. Oh my gosh. 1,000 psychers per day are fed to the Golden Throne in order to keep the Astronomicon going, so we can use warp travel. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
We're picking all of the dialogue options again. Navigator, translation. What are these things you speak of?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead. Sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
I'm just gonna say it. Every time we talk about the warp, substitute it with hell, and you have an accurate description of what we're doing right now. I'm serious. An incident took place in the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Where is the ship headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Gracious, Lord Captain. Surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir.
You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows.
In Splendor, can we just surpass him in badassery and I mean, the whole point of being a rogue trader is to get rich doing rogue trading, so. No more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
These are either heretics who are dropped in... Well, I don't know. They look pretty human.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Surrender to the dark powers!
Never mind the heretics. They're just not very mutated heretics. Most heretics are pretty mutated. I thought maybe they might be a deck gang rebellion because there's 26,000 people here. Rebellions happen on ships. But nope, they are heretics, which is not good. Because we are currently flying through what is functionally, as I said, hell. And so, there are concerns when it comes to where the heretics came from.
Look out.
One fewer target.
2 fewer targets, actually.
Break their morale! Glory of the Imperium! Death to non-believers!
I've suffered worse.
Cover. Okay, so yeah, we actually are just doing XCOM, right.
It's as good as done.
That was such a pathetic fall.
Chaos guides me. Death to the weak.
Now, the Gellar field is supposed to keep stuff from coming in from the warp.
I serve the
So the fact these guys are here is really bad.
Brace yourself, Abelard. Reduced to dust. Follow my lead.
Thank you for the lemon. Noted XCOM, prepare to miss far more than is reasonable and get unmitigated. Oh boy. That's not good. Okay, bad guys are here.
I'll make it happen.
Just gonna stay in cover and snipe people.
Out of my way.
Ow.
I took care of this one.
Ow.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Keep in mind when they refer to a deck, they're not just talking about this floor plan. They're talking about 6 stories.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
Not gonna be an armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare attack the Lord Captain.
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly.
The incidents with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Can I loot these guys?
Miscalculations are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences.
I have to remember that. Oh, well, holy crap.
I always have a backup plan.
I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not getting any loot, and I am sad. Profitable learning experience. That is an amazing line. I love it. Stop trying to loot the cultists. You don't know where they've been. Fair. They're Nurgle cultists. We have a problem. Hello.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
I will remind you that we are currently sailing through literal hell and it wants to eat our ship. This is bad. Mutiny, but who would attempt mutiny in here? Mutiny against the Emperor's Annoyed, execute the traitors. Must provide immediate assistance to those still in the middle decks. Perhaps we might stop this wave from spreading. Use fear case warp madness. Situation is dire. Stop it from spreading.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
This stuff is going to be very British. Yes.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
Mutiny. It has a time and place, preferably not when... Yep. Yeah, we're in the warp right now.
If I may, Lord Captain, Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
They're worried about Edel, and you as a psyker are standing in the middle of... Yeah, I am right here, and I am also a psyker. I could literally explode or turn into a demon or any number of other things.
Then it's settled. Find Ethelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
In whatever state, what does that mean?
We're in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Geller field and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychus can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways.
He is getting increasingly concerning.
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Ethelthrad back to me.
I know, I'm doing it partially for you guys' benefit. I cannot promise that I won't lose our dearest heir somewhere along the way.
Kunrad, keep an eye on our spirited guest. You are personally responsible. Mort!
Well, we're a rogue trader, so there probably aren't any. No, she mentioned a sister to battle.
Not even have proper gear.
I think there's at least one. She mentioned a sister of battle, I think. The idea of a Grey Knight being a rogue trader ship, though, is... yeah, probably not. I shall make do lead the way of propositions, since I'm the more important person here. You can go in front to shield me from potential threats. You had better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that relying on you is fraught with risk. She did.
I see you have quickly earned Lady Theodora's trust. If she is already sharing her closely guarded secrets with you.
But that is no longer relevant.
I knew it! I feel like they should have used a different animation for that. Traitors! Everyone! Nice pose there.
Careful, careful.
Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber, and for that, I need her breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Two-faced scum!
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel. An ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
I think I already see what answer I want. What is it? Inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? I'm insulting him. There's no way I'm going to be able to actually fight him, so I'm insulting him.
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help.
Okay, so yeah, he's definitely mutating.
Isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? You sordid, wretched piece of...
Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Von Valencia's watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
Brief moment, you feel nauseous, has pain, then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more, sourceless voices echo. Oh boy. Fight. You feel this intruding influence. You were wounded by the corrupted weapon, which led to a warp entity invading. Oh, good! We are already on our way to becoming a demon. Nice. The cogitator with a human likeness built in the servitor. Tech use. Examine the device. Tech you succeeded. 20 experience points. Carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is a strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be a type of archaeotech relic. Servitor on the gate begins to move. With a screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, close to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen on the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after whatever wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, a source coiled itself to a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the Sentinel! Servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you're used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread. It has metal hinges in place of standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Look for anything that uses as a weapon. Look around in hopes of finding at least something that can work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nearly nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Place hand in the Sentinel's maw. So jaws clamped around your hand, puncturing your skin, sticking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall on the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servitor motors start up, the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's maw remains closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of us ever had.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Do not understand where the quiet voice is coming from. Oh! Someone who made this was very, very smart. It can detect we're under duress. Who is this? Yes, I do require assistance. Suppose this onset of warp mass they warned me about must have lost my mind. Who is this?
Genetic code identified. Child of House Von Valancius. Do you require assistance?
Yes, Sentinel. Traitors took my life in the safety of the warrant. Paints you through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way.
This must have been the smartest decision ever made in any 40k anything. building a duress system into the vault. No one makes smart decisions like this.
Is there money to be made?
Not now. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, to be the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns through pain to greatness.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head... Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Going to be honest, having a 40k demon in your head is even more worrying than having an illithid spawn at the True. Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
I always keep my options open.
Good to know. Seal the chamber. I am a psyker. I can make their heads explode with my mind.
Fools or fall.
Mistress? What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Kunrad Whitebear was a traitor. When you parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. How did you find me? Are you with that traitor Whitebear? On one hand, I don't think he's going to be a traitor. On the other hand, it would be fun to accuse him of being a traitor.
Mistress, with all due respect, what nonsense are you saying? Kunrad, a traitor?
Whitebear openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind this mutiny.
Saints' blood! Then it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Stub revolver, sword, armored body glove, medikit. Character can loosen their wounds. Character suffer no injury. And injuries reduced. Characters resolve. The character initially suffers injuries fresh during the first 3 rounds. After 3 rounds have passed, fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using a med kit without passing a skill test. Old injuries can be healed with a med kit, but they require character administrative treatment to pass a Medicaid skill test to succeed. Use medikits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a medikit. Medikits can only be used by characters who have a field medic feature, base skill Medicaid, or have taken Medicaid skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses a medikit in battle, a Medicaid skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Epilogue can heal your character's injury. Click left mouse on Epilogue's portrait. Select the medikit. Okay.
What advice do you seek? This wound will make a fine scar.
I won't forget this. I will lead us to fortune.
Equip new weapons. Stub revolver.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Can I equip the other stuff?
The lower decks are teeming with heretics, instigating the rabble to revolt.
I'll take that as a no.
The least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, navigator. However, I have spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the war. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
Right, this thing's just shouting random speeches while we go. I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
And die shortly thereafter, and if you live, you're not likely to, indeed. No obligation takes a risk. Navigate Sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way? For the Imperium, and lead the way, Central. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
Loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home! And with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Venerate the dark chaos! Death by unbelievers!
Your
Theodora's
demise
not
is
having a
already
good day.
calculated.
The Masters demand your death!
Oh, now we get to place our characters, which probably doesn't do me any good, because what does it matter? We're in an open field. Can I hide behind a burning guy? Yeah, all my protection is behind me. I guess I'm gonna hide behind a burning guy.
Chaos guides me! Death to non-believers!
So I heard you like to die during the tutorial. Oh no! Thanks for letting me equip the rest of the stuff he brought me. Oh, wait a minute.
Follow my lead. Ugh, my ears are ringing. The more, the better.
Yes, please. Not in range. Ooh. But I can't hit these guys.
One fewer target.
Okay, so he's just gonna murder 4 people in his first turn. And this is why all 3.5 defenders took cleave. Indeed. Hi, Blue Kitty.
Chaos guides me!
Yep, unscheduled plan because my Saturday night plans got canceled. And I will probably try to do this again on Monday. Yeah, thanks for not letting me equip the rest of the stuff. I hate you. Oh. What? Wait, can I? Oh, so I have to hit him? No, I don't have to hit him.
Don't let your guard down.
Okay, I could just, I guess, not hit anyone.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Ow. Oh, I dodged. Yay!
Victory is imminent. I took care of this one. It will be done.
That's really powerful.
Out of my way.
It's worse than this. Who, if not me? Your end was inevitable.
Yay, levels. Can I loot these guys? Defeated enemies have no further need for their belongings. Yes, please.
Let us not dawdle.
Now can I equip this stuff? Armored body glove, thank you. Sword, thank you. Yeah, I don't think we can rename on D-Live. Why is the las pistol worse than the stub revolver? Oh, it has a dodge reduction. Still, I mean, a las pistol's a powerful weapon. It should be able to do a lot of damage. I guess I'll stick with the stub revolver. You don't have any guns though, so we're gonna give you the las pistol. I just have 6 swords I guess I get to sell. 1 rank, click to view arc. Okay. Ah, commerce, persuasion, carouse, coercion, lore, Imperium, lore, warp. Is currently 45, is currently 45, 35, 40, 30, and 30. I feel like there isn't a point in doing the lores right now. So do we want to scare people? Resistance to poison, I like that. Talk people into stuff. Well, remember, our fellowship is going to be replaced by intelligence, so I guess it's down to corrupt. Oh, this is also... All 3 of these will be traded to intelligence when I get that power. So I guess we're going with carouse. Athletics, carouse, coercion, demolition, and Medicaid. 45, 30, 35, 50, and 40. You get better at not slurring beer me. Right now, he's the only guy we have that can heal, so I think we kind of have to go with Medicaid.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
I'd like to get to the trade. I understand that this is being very XCOM right now, but there is a trading part of this game that I'd like to get to.
I hear it here on the threshold of the blinded guide. Doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abela, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valentius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
Entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you, Von Valancius, are a sorcerer too, just like the other one. Lady Theodora must have grown so fond of psychers she wants one to replace her.
How do you know who I am? I mean, the answer's obvious, but we're gonna hear the dialogue anyways.
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
Must see if the navigator as well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, good! Well, we don't want to go through that door anyways. Flesh holding the door together is bad.
The Emperor is with us!
All of you will bleed!
Okay, he gets to move first, so I should just put him in a good position to make his chain attacks from the beginning.
A tactically sound approach. Reduce to dust! I took care of this one.
Let's get to it!
My prescience has failed me.
Chaos guides me.
They are always so spread out that I can't... Okay, you also have Psychic Shriek.
On it.
Ooh.
Was that you? Or...
Aww.
But of course.
Oh wait, I still have that line of attack. Can I? I can! I hope it worked better than last time.
I don't need luck. I have
Sorry, I did crazy, not stupid. And I can't hit anything.
Such is the will of chaos.
A mere pain won't stop me.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call.
He is so freaking effective.
Cover me.
Creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with the throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretching between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, two ordinary eyes as well as a third one that sits at the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Give Egglard a point look. What's wrong with him? Approach. What's wrong with him?
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short.
You're in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Right, demon takeover. Got ya.
It came from beyond. His body is not his.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
What torments you?
The urge.
Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, this shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
What is that supposed to mean?
A rite. A sacrifice offered. Oh. My heart tells me that Kunrad was not deterred by his defeat in the warrant chamber.
What? Kunrad betrayed Lady Theodora? Oh, but how is that? How? He was as loyal as a dog. And I didn't hear a thing, I swear.
masters. Tear out your eyes. See who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer.
Want to help you? Tell me how.
The sanctum will be sealed. I will hold it off. Hold on. And wait for the signal from the Master Helmsman. Then I will commence the translation. So, run. Run.
Cannot bear to see his agony any longer. I'd rather put an end to it.
You can't! It's only thanks to Master Spiders that we're still alive. If he falls, this whole ship is doomed. Let him do his duty. You know it's the last thing he'll ever do. If he lasts that long.
Navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Spiders, good luck. And thank you.
Navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the Vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static, interspersed with distant voices of otherworldly laughter. Oh, this is a whole thing. You are still shouting words of encouragement randomly. Wait a minute. Choice. Ah. To be fair, this 40K, I was expecting things to be going much worse by now. That is fair. Okay, Psychic Staff. You have Psychic Staff and Las Pistol. We shall... give you an X to go with your pistol. You have a sword and a pistol, and we will give you the scrappy auto gun. Oh, the scrappy auto gun is worse than the pistol in every way. No, it has better range. Never mind. And I cannot take the scrappy auto gun. And... I think that's going to be it for tonight. Well, let's see what the next... see what this has for us before we get going. I will save when I close out. I just wanted to see what was next.
The ship's as good as ours. It's all over for you.
Pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these...
Shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
Yeah, the Sisters of Battle are kind of one of the scariest things the Imperium has to throw at things. White-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment it seems she's not going to stop and will instead continue to eliminate every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Pandora von Valencius, the Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. Ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
Seneschal is right. There's no time to talk. I am no traitor. You can be sure of that. Do not even think to insinuate I am one of the traitors. I will not let such an affront slide. Sister should not be ever a thing because the Emperor never wanted to be seen as a god. He hated that. The Emperor hated being seen as a god, but in fact, it was the fact that he was so anti-religious that caused some of the Imperium's problems. He thought that by eliminating all religion, that he could starve out the Chaos Gods. But that isn't how it actually works with them. So, by eliminating an organized religion within the Imperium, he basically made it so that there was no way to, no alternative to turn to other than the Chaos Gods. At least for the Imperium. So, even though he's venerated as a god now, which he never wanted, that is technically a better thing for trying to fight the Chaos Gods, because it gives the whole population something else to believe in other than them. And realistically speaking, it is likely the collective belief of several quintillion people that is keeping him alive, given how psychic powers work. Do not even think.
That answer does you
Thank you for the lemon.
Only the truly righteous would be so provoked by the accusation of heresy. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
What is a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas doing aboard the rogue trader ship? Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
Who are these people with you?
Overseer of Middle Deck AL-84, my lady. We were rounding up everyone we could find in the attack compartments, but we ran into an ambush. Just about every enforcer fell. These are the survivors.
You speak crazy lady warringly well. I don't want to talk about it. What's happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lady. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lady, be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
And with that crescendo, I think we're going to call it for the night. I just wanted to see where we're going. We are collecting a sister... Ooh, goods. A Sister of Battle, apparently. Ooh, goods. Well-maintained stub revolver. Yes, please. New, more efficient weapon for your character. Okay. Before we save, is there anything else?
Is there money to be made?
I really like that games are increasingly adding these hold button to highlight what's going on so you can see things. It eliminates so many headaches. Well-maintained stub revolver. Ooh. So you're going to be like super effective since you have an actual bolter. An auto pistol. Why do you have an auto pistol? Here, have the stub revolver. And an axe. Why would you use an auto pistol? Not only a bolter, a named... That's true. It is a named bolter. With that, though, we are going to save and call it for the night. I don't know if I'm going to continue this tomorrow or for the Monday stream. Just to see if we can get to the actual trading part of the game, though. I do want to continue this. It will probably not be a regular thing, but I wanted to start it with y'all, just to see what we're getting into. Yep, with that, I thank you all for hanging out. I hope you all enjoyed this unscheduled Saturday stream. Be safe. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, and I will see you next time. Be safe and have a good one.